Disclaimer: this video may or may not include swearing and insults. This video is meant only for entertainment and is not made to insult or offend anybody. The insults and swear words are not meant to attack any group of people.
Hello and welcome to this quite new video. It is quite unusual for me to upload something, which I am aware of, but I thought after all this time, why not give it a go again? Why not upload something new? Like, I don't plan on... The reason why I came to make this video was just because I wanted to voice myself and my opinion about Apex Legends in particular and how it handles certain things, because I think that there are some things that should be addressed, and for me probably the best platform to do that so far is YouTube. I don't really have any experience with any other social media, so YouTube is the way to go, even though I have barely any experience there either. But I know roughly what I can do and what not, so here we go. What I mean with problems. I picked up Apex Legends about 2 weeks ago. Have been playing it for 2 weeks, and I probably have about like 70 hours playtime, or like not 70, like maybe 65 or something. If Origin would at least show me that, but no, it just doesn't. Anyway, so the reason why there is Overwatch in the footage or in the background of the video is more because like it is a game that I'm like just have more experience with it, and I do plan on making some comparisons between Apex Legends and Overwatch. I do also apologize for the quality of my microphone, but I don't really have any equipment, and this is just meant for me to rant, and yeah, I think you'll survive it. So I've been playing Overwatch for getting closer to 900 hours, which makes it one of my most played games of all time, probably topped only by CS:GO and Skyrim. Now, I do think that I still really enjoy playing Overwatch, but recently I've come to the point where it just got boring for me. Like, I wanted to play something else. I've been playing it for the bigger part of the past 2 years, and I just wanted to experience something new, and yeah. So I went on for a search for other games because I still wanted to play a shooter, but something that was somewhat more realistic in a way than Overwatch. Like, in the past, I played CS:GO, as I mentioned, and Battlefield 4. Problem is, CS:GO is just not the right thing for me anymore. Like, it can be fun from time to time, but it isn't. I don't really plan on going back to it. I spent a huge amount of time playing it, and I don't know, it has lost its charm in a way. And then there's Battlefield 4. I loved playing Battlefield 4, and I would love to play it again. But in the past 2 years as well, it has just been awful. Like, in many games, like, it takes ages to find a server that actually has maps that I like, or like has more maps than just the standard maps, and has the play mode I like, which is Conquest Large. Yeah, fine. Like, there are barely any servers anymore that are like filled with players that like more than like, I don't know, 20 players. So finding a server is hard enough, and then it is not rare to find a cheater, and that just like back when I started playing Battlefield 4 and played it a lot, it didn't feel like there were a lot of cheaters. Like, there were good players that were like 100, like level 140 or something. and they would just fucking demolish you. But like, there weren't cheaters. I didn't see any cheaters. But like, then after I tried to get back into it, it's just like so many cheaters, and it's just taking all fun out of it. And then you would try to find a new server, and then that takes ages, and then you're just like, no, you know what, forget it. So I was searching for a new shooter. I thought about At some point I've thought, what about Metro Exodus, I think is it called? Because it seemed something, it seemed to be interesting. Like, I've never played a Metro game before, and it seemed like something that could be fun. But then there was all this bullshit with with the Epic Game Store, and I was like, I just like, no, 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 thank you, please, no. So that didn't go anywhere, and I don't like PUBG. It's just like how it is. I really don't like PUBG. I think it has a lot of flaws that are not being fixed. Fortnite is again too close to Overwatch. It is flashy, it is colorful, it is somewhat cartoonish, and I want really something that was more realistic in a way, or like at least like graphics wise. And then at some point like, I don't know, I guess I stumbled upon Apex Legends. And I was like, it's free. I can give it a try. I didn't know anything. I still don't really know anything about the Titanfall universe, but it was battle royale, so I didn't think there to be much of it. So I just, and it was my first battle royale, so I was like, sure, why not? So I downloaded it and started playing, and I enjoy it. I still enjoy it after 65 hours or something. I think it's fun, or at least it can be fun. And it is something that I, in a way, wanted to play. It is a fun game with sort of realistic weapons, or like just weapons that feel different from Overwatch. Something that is more predictable in a way, or like more predictable to be realistic. Like there's bullet drop, there's travel time, and all that jazz. And I really enjoyed it. But I think there are a bunch of significant flaws and problems in Apex Legends. It has been out for like roughly 2 months by now, as I'm recording this, but I think that doesn't necessarily excuse problems, or like at least doesn't excuse like problems to not be addressed. So, what are the problems, like my personal problems that I have with Apex? I guess the biggest problem that I have is the connection problems. It is incredibly terrific how often I lose connection to the servers at any point in the game. Like while playing the game, while in the loading screen, while in the main menu, it just, boom, it just kicks me out. Like that is something that has to be addressed. That is something that makes a game bad. And it's not only me, it's a lot of people that mention this to be a problem. And as it is not happening in any other game that I have that, I do think it is because the connection just sucks, or the server suck. Also, the amount of times that I just got lag in the game while everything else, like Chrome and Discord, everything went fine. But in Apex, it was just fucking slow motion and lag, and that is not good for a game. It makes it not, like, I don't want to play a game that is just so incredibly unplayable. It's not fun. And that is what a game should be. It should be fun. So, out of all the problems, I think this is the first one that has to be addressed. It is something game breaking. It can be incredibly frustrating. Like, there have been games where I was like, in the last 3-4 squads, and then like, boom, you're gone. Wow, nice. Lost the game. Fantastic. And that just fucking sucks. I don't think that any game should have something like that. So, what are the other problems? The other problem, or like the next problem, is reports. You cannot really, like, you can report people, but it's difficult. It is not easy. It is so that it is a chore. It is something. It is like reporting people is made in a way that you think, do I really want to report this person enough to go through this hideous way of reporting them? Like I think I have to, like, I didn't even try it once. Like, you can report players, for example, if there's, like, you have to go to the profile. Like, if you're not spectating them, you have to go to their profile, or you have to remember the name, and then you have to report them, and then you just really can report them for cheating. Which, I guess, like, you know, the thing is, first of all, your game should not be in a state where it can be cheated, or like where there can be cheaters. But no single game on the planet is like immune to that. So fine, you have an option to report cheaters, which is marvelous. But you can only report those that, or like more easily report those that you get killed by or your teammates, and then only for cheating. Now, I've had it multiple times that I got into a group with other players, and they're just dicks. They jump instantly, which I don't really personally like, because it's just like, ooh, let's go for the first kills, and like, just let's try to get kills. If it doesn't work, okay, fine, I get out, new game, fine. I don't think that is really the idea of Battle Royale. Like, the Battle Royale is meant to make you try to survive as long as possible, and not try to get as many kills as possible in the smallest amount of time. Like, that's not how Battle Royale should be played. And I think somehow people should maybe, if it's possible, it's not the biggest problem, but it should maybe be thought about if there's a way to discourage people, or like more like encourage people to live longer. Like, it's already the case, like, you get a lot more XP from living long than you get for kills, but I don't think a lot of people actually see that, and they just think, ooh, kills are good. Kills give XP, marvelous, good, yes, more kills. But yeah, so the problem is, I've had a bunch of people that just, they jumped, they died very quickly, and then they just fucking left, like, because they died, because that makes sense, because when you jump with a group of like 30 people tend to die very quickly. And then I've had it on multiple occasions that me and another person, or just me, was somewhere else, survived, and they just fucking left, which leaves your squad at a huge disadvantage. And you can't really do anything about it. So, like, in Overwatch, you have multiple ways to report somebody. You can, like, first of all, it's incredibly easy. Like, you just go to their name, you click on the thing, then you select the report thingy, and then you can report them for a bunch of things, like cheating, gameplay sabotage, like griefing, like insults, and all that shit. Like, that is a lot of options, and I think in many games this is needed. Also, when you report them, they get disadvantages, like they get bans, they get blocks, and like all that shit. There are consequences for toxic people, and especially like in today's like gaming society, I'd say something like that is needed. Like, people have to see that their shitty behavior is not going to get away like without any consequences. And you also have the option to just, like, overall, you can avoid people as teammates, which I guess in Apex Legends isn't as important. But still, it's an option. They really thought about it, and they had it in for a while, then they took it out again, and yeah, it's fine. But now it is like it just works, and it can be really helpful. And I think, like, overall, I get like when I play Overwatch every day of the week, like, to some degree, like maybe 1 or 2 hours, like, I get like every day, or like within the entire week, I get like 2 or 3. Like, when I go back to Overwatch and I start Overwatch, and I get like this message bug, thank you for reporting this and this person, or like not this and this in person, but like, thank you for reporting a person that was a dick. Like, I get that like 2 or 3 times every single week, which means that it does something. And like the lack of something similar in Apex Legends is frustrating, because you have this idiot that goes around just like, oh yeah, I'll just drop and then I die and then I quit and leave you in the dust. That is just shitty behavior, and it's really frustrating that you cannot do anything about it. I mean, like, you can group up with friends, of course, but what if you don't have like any people that can play at the moment? That, like, if you want to play, you will have to at some point put up with people like that. And if you don't play, you don't play. And game developers don't want that, or like companies in general don't want that. They want their game to be played. So I think it would be incredible. Like, it would be a big step if, first of all, reporting people would be made easier and like just more intuitive. And if there were options to report people for other things than cheating. Because it feels a bit like they like, okay, I guess, yeah, cheating is not that cool, so we can't really have that in a game, but like, you know, everything else, like, we don't give a shit. It just makes, it leaves a bad aftertaste. Like, you play this game, then this dude just fucking throws, and you just sit there and like, you know that you're very likely going to be losing, and it's just like, fuck you, dude, fuck you. And like, I just had a like earlier, like the last game I played was like, we were at the air base, or like this thing where there's 2 spikes into the ocean, sort of. I was on the one side, the other 2 were on the other side. One dude of our squad got downed, and he just fucking screams into the chat, like fucking caps, like, help me up. Like, dude, sure, I'll go and help you up. Chill. Wait a minute. Give me a second. You're safe. Nobody else is alive. I'll get to you and I'll revive you. But he then keeps on screaming, and like, why? Why do you have to be such an annoying cunt? Like, why is that necessary? And then he, like, because I was annoyed, and like someone like, yeah, here, I'll show you. I just like, I revived him, but I didn't go all through, and I did like 2 or 3 times, and I suppose he got a little bit mad, and then he just kept on like bitching about it, and why didn't you come over, useless, and like, I don't want to play with people like that, so I quit. And yeah, like, I don't want to play with people like that, but the only way that I can actually do something about it is by literally leaving the game, which will make me frustrated, which will leave them at a disadvantage, and nobody is going to have anything about it. If there was a reporting system that would actually work and include things like toxicity and griefing and all that shit, then you would, like, people could get some sort of like satisfaction from reporting them, and in the best case, actually getting them to see consequences for their behavior. And I think it could just like, it could make things a little bit more relaxed in a way, and in the like, overall would probably not help a lot, because they could just make a new account if their old one gets banned. But yeah, so that is something that I would wish would be improved, that there would be a better reporting system, and that the reporting system would be expanded so it includes reporting options for toxicity and griefing and other things. Again, Overwatch has done it before, and it's working great. So the last problem, or like the second to last problem that I have, is loot boxes. Apex Legends is a free-to-play game. It's made by a AAA publisher, and making a free game is something that, like, making game still costs money. So making it free makes, like, if you don't have to buy something initially, they still want you to spend money on it, so they get some sort of like revenue from it, which makes sense. I totally understand that. Every game does it, so like there are no free games out there. That can't be working. Nobody can do that unless they're having funds from somewhere else. So I understand that a free-to-play game has some sort of in-game microtransaction or something different. I totally understand that. But it is what I do not understand, or like I do understand it, but I think it's still shitty, is the way that they want you to spend money. Like Battle Pass. In Apex Legends, I bought the first Battle Pass I ever had. Like I didn't play any game where something like that was a thing. And by now, I sort of regret it a little bit because it just overall it doesn't have anything in the Battle Pass that I'm just like, oh my god, I have to have that. I will definitely buy the Battle Pass just for that thing. So I kind of like a little bit regretted that I bought it, but yeah, so the Battle Pass is one way to get money, and the other one is loot boxes mostly, or buying like this one currency that lets you buy character skins, or like just skins or heroes or loot boxes. Now, problem one. There are like almost 2,000 cosmetic items in Apex Legends. That's a shit ton of stuff. I don't know how many Overwatch has, but Overwatch definitely has less. Like every weapon and every character has like 20 different skins. Like, hello, what the hell? That's a lot. And all these cosmetics, or like also banners and finishes and all that jazz, like you can only get them from loot boxes. You can also craft them, but you also like get only these crafting materials only out of loot boxes. So the problem is you can get from level 1 to level 200 maximum. That's it. 100 levels, no more leveling. Problem being, you get not every level a loot box, like in Overwatch. No, you get like a little bit less than every 2 levels, like all over the place, like all over. Like you get 45 loot boxes within these 100 levels. 45 loot boxes times 3 for each item in a loot box is 120, 135 items that you can get just through leveling without buying anything. That is barely anything. And that would mean like this is like the best result because you would get like 135 skins or cosmetics or anything else. No crafting materials. Absolutely unlikely, will not happen, but it is an option that could theoretically happen. Now, the problem is, what if you still want more skins? What if you want other items because, you know what? Like, why not? They're there. Of course you could spend money, but still, like, you get such a fraction for buying loot boxes, and you have so little control in a way over how, like, about how you, or like what you get. It just, like, to me, it feels like the loot boxes in Apex Legends are just shit. Like, you get less, like, you get 3 items, where in Overwatch you get 4. You have to pay more money for loot boxes than in Overwatch. And you can only obtain them at some point by buying them. That is the biggest problem that annoys the hell out of me. Because in Overwatch, you get every level that, like, every time you level up, you get a loot box. Every single damn time. You also get loot boxes, for example, from endorsement levels. Like, if you have a certain endorsement level for a certain amount of time, at some point you get some loot boxes. You also, every week, you can get 3 additional loot boxes by playing in the arcade. Like, and even then, if you get duplicates, you get coins, and you can use these coins to buy whichever, like if you have enough of them, you can buy whichever skin you want, which I guess is similar to the crafting materials, but the thing is, like, the crafting materials are something additional. Yeah, like, chances are you will get like probably like every second or third loot crate, you will get crafting materials, and it is such a tiny, tiny, tiny amount that it is like, nah, come on. And you need so much crafting materials for some skins, like bro, seriously. So overall, it just feels like the Overwatch loot crate system is a lot more rewarding. Like, you can get more, you can choose more specifically what you want, and overall you just have like, it is more something that I am willing to accept. Like, if a free game had the loot box system of Overwatch, I'd be, yeah, okay, I can like just play the game, and for playing the game I will get rewards, which is a good way to keep people playing your game. Now, what do you get if you get past level 100 in Apex Legends? You get League tokens. What can you do with these League tokens, you ask? You can buy additional legends and some special skins that just come and go in the store. Problem is, there are only 3 new legends at the moment. And overall, you will have very quickly a lot more League tokens than you would need for a new legend, even if there is a new one to be coming out, which I think is going to happen soon enough. Okay, fair enough. You can buy new legends, which is neat, I guess. In Overwatch, you can all play all of them at the same time if you want. You don't have to unlock them. Just saying. But so, like, the other thing that you can buy with these League tokens are these amazing weapon skins that are like just copies of the other skin, but in a different color or like just appearance. Which is just like, like maybe a little bit cheap, people could say, but like, eh. And then there's also a problem, you can only buy these skins, like the original skins, of which you then can buy a similar copy with the League tokens, and you can only buy the first skin with like money, and that just is like, no, thank you. Like, why? No, like, it's just so fucking cash grabby, it feels like. Like, they try, like, here you have a little bit, but you have to buy everything else. And that just makes, like, it makes me really dislike Apex Legends, because at some point it's just like frustrating to play in a way. Like, you don't, like, a lot of other games have these like instant gratification, which are loot boxes, like. But in Apex Legends you can't get any more except by paying a lot of money, and I don't want to pay a lot of money in a game that gives me so little for spending money on it, has significant problems like the connection problems, and that can be incredibly frustrating to play. Like, I don't want to spend money in a game like that. In Overwatch, I probably spent 200 or 300 euros just for loot crates. Like, for the first 1.5 years, first 1 year, every event I got myself a bunch of loot crates, and I opened them, and I got skins, and I was willing to do that because I liked the skins. I wanted to have these skins, and it didn't seem to be unlikely that I might get the skin. And even if I would get a different one, or maybe a duplicate, I would be able to get myself that skin if I got enough duplicates and therefore enough coins. But in Apex Legends, that is not the case. Like, no. Also, so many of the skins in Apex Legends are, I would say, downright pathetic. Like, almost every, like, a bunch of skins are just, like, are on every weapon, on every character. Like, you see the same animations, like these red or green colors, like just going down. Like, fair enough, it looks nice. Like, it's okay, I guess. Like, I don't think it's the best skin ever, But you know, it's the thing. Why not? Some people might like it. But it's the same for a lot of things. Like, it's just duplicated onto a different weapon or a different character, which just seems to be incredibly lazy to me. Like, of course you have the very basic skins in Overwatch, like the basic colors were just the basic colors of of their character changes, but those are really just like 4 skins, and they're cheap. And every other skin is unique to the character. And the legendary skins in Overwatch, they can be amazing. Like, they change the entire models to something entirely different, which just makes it so much more interesting when there are new skins to be coming out. And you don't really, like, I don't really feel like you see that in Apex Legends. Like, some of the weapons and characters have actually only really like the legendary skins. They have changes in the models, but they're slight. They're very small changes, and they're by far not as interesting and like just nice to look at as in Overwatch. Like, of course, the models are a lot more detailed than in Overwatch, but I still don't think that it justifies the lack of like just different skins and looks throughout all cosmetics in the game. I think that the cosmetics in Apex Legends are boring and not really desirable. Like, they in no way, like, there's not a single skin that I would be like, yes, I want to spend money just so maybe I get the skin. I really want the skin, I will pay money for it. That just doesn't happen in Apex Legends. Like, all these skins are mostly unattractive and simple and do not look like there has been a lot of work behind it, which makes the game look like the developers didn't really give a shit about it. And that is not a good thing. So, what do I want from Apex Legends to change in that regard? I would like it if they would implement if they would remove the level cap. If they would implement that you can level more or less into infinity, and you get loot boxes more consistently with leveling up. Like, maybe one level you get a loot box, one level you get the infinity. It would be fine. Like, it would give people something to work for and be something to be looking forward to. And I think that could make just overall things better.
This won't hurt. Hold on.
Also, it would be nice to see if there were more just interesting skins and more diverse skins around. If they would stock up on the skins that are already there, or like improve them in some way that is different than just changing color or the color animation. I think that as well could make, not only would make it more fun to get new skins, but also it could make people more willing to spend money on loot boxes. Or maybe even make loot boxes cheaper overall, which could also be a thing. Unlikely to happen, but it's an idea.
I got you, friend.
And now to the, not problem, but something that I want to address anyway, is like, it's like, Apex Legends has been out for 2 months, which is not a lot. Like, there are like still things to be going, like, that are going to happen, like additional content being created for Apex Legends. But so far there's only one map, and I get, like, creating more maps than one is, like, especially on that size, I can imagine to be difficult, or at least time and money consuming. But overall, I really hope that there are going to be more maps, or at least like maybe one more map, just to add something new and something more exciting and different. then there's the characters. Each character has, like, is very individual. Like, every single character is in some way unique. Of course, there's like the base, like the tank. There's the normal soldier, then there's the ninja stuff and stuff all like that. Like the basic characters always there, but they all themselves are very unique, which I really like. Like, I love that the characters are just in a way very unique. But like they all have a little bit of backstory, but it ends there, and you don't really get any like backstory in the game. Like, you don't get to know anything more about the characters, and that makes it a little bit disappointing in a way, because like you don't have a connection to the characters. You don't know anything about them. You don't empathize with them. And that's something that Overwatch has done very differently. Like, just the amount of work that is put into characters' backstory is like huge. Like, there's cinematics, there's all these interactions between the individual characters with each other that happen just at random all the time, that make the game just so much more, like, the characters just so much more interesting. And I want something like that to happen. I want that the characters interact with each other or things on the map in some way or another, like just by saying something to each other. Because like this, it is as if the characters wouldn't, like, you could play any character with any other character and it just wouldn't matter. And I think it could make things a lot more interesting if there was some sort of connection added to them. Like, for example, in Overwatch, Tracer and Widowmaker have a shit ton of lines that they just will, like, round starts, somebody picks Tracer, somebody picks Widowmaker, and they just have like a few lines that they talk to each other. And it just makes the characters so much more lively and the game itself more lively. So it's something that I wish would happen at some point in Apex Legends, especially when there's more characters to be coming out. So yeah, I think that is overall everything I have to say. I will probably play more Apex Legends, probably at least until level 100, but I do suspect that if there's nothing new coming out by then, that I will probably lose interest very quickly, because like there's just like, especially because like I don't think, like, I'm already getting somewhat, like, I don't play a lot of Apex Legends in one go. I play like a few rounds and then I just get sort of bored of it. And if that doesn't change, I don't think that I will play Apex Legends for a very long time. And yeah, I just might go back to Overwatch, which I have already done today, and I've very much enjoyed it. Like, Overwatch is fun to me again, and I really want to play more. So yeah, I will keep my eye on how Apex Legends is going to evolve. And I do hope that some of the things that I addressed will hopefully be considered by the developers, or are already being considered and are in the work. I really hope, because I think Apex Legends has a big potential, and it would be a shame to see it not to go, well, not to be used. Or if a game with big potential gets, or like just loses to the wish for more money by EA in this case, which we have seen before. Like, the last few EA games have, they just feel like money over anything else, and that is a bad thing for games. It destroys games. We have seen it before, and it will probably happen again. So that is something that I really hope doesn't happen to Apex Legends. I hope you, I guess, enjoyed listening to me and my opinion. I would love to hear any feedback that you might have, or other solutions, like anything, just fucking throw it at me. And like, not necessarily only like restricted to the like actual like of the what I talked about, but also like, I know like my microphone is not the best. I know that I have a shit ton of echo probably, and like, oh, please don't, like, I know. Give me suggestions. I'm open to everything. Everything can help. I hope you have a nice day. I hope this might have made you think about something. And maybe I'll see you soon. I do plan on uploading, like, I think I might try to upload something from time to time more frequently. And see you soon.